Good morning. It is Monday the 4th of July. That's no relevance to me because I'm British, but still, it's crazy that it's the 4th of July. I can't believe this year's gone by so fast. And I'm enjoying my first watermelon of the year. I love watermelon for breakfast. It's like my favourite thing ever. Alex is fast asleep in bed, as you can see. Today is going to be another minimalism video. My other two videos have gone down quite well, so I'm going to be doing the makeup area of my bedroom. So I'm going to be clearing out my makeup and sort of sorting out my dressing table. I used to have a really big dressing table, but for minimalism purposes, I got rid of it because I felt that I was just filling the drawers with stuff that I didn't need. And so instead I opted for a miniature chest of drawers that I got for a £5 off of eBay. It doesn't look that great, but I don't really care because it's much more practical because I can put clothes in the drawers. It limits the amount of makeup and stuff that I can have on top. So when it gets like messy and crazy, I just have to clear it up because otherwise I can't use it. Whereas before, my dressing table was so big that I ended up having half of it just filled with junk. I'm in a position where my makeup isn't that much. I don't have too much makeup, but I want to just go through it again because I don't use a lot of it and I think that I'm just keeping it for the sake of it. I'm gonna go to work now in the mist. I get really scared going in the mist on my bike because of other cars and the windy roads, and I get scared they're just gonna crash into me, but as long as I've got my lights on, I'm sure I'll be okay. So yeah, I'll see you when I get home. Bye. So I'm back home now. I've just showered because I was very sweaty from my bike ride home, and I've got straight into my nightie. Does anyone else do that, where you literally get straight into your pyjamas as soon as you get home? Like, well, my pyjamas is just a massive t-shirt basically. But let's get straight into it. If you haven't already seen my other two videos on minimalism, then I will link them here and in the description below as well. But the first two were on my wardrobe basically, so my wardrobe and my drawers. Just a disclaimer, a lot of the makeup that I'm going to be showing you isn't vegan because a lot of it is old makeup, like lipsticks and stuff that I've had before I was vegan, or some of it might have been like given to me, so just ignore that. I'm not promoting any of the makeup here that isn't vegan or cruelty free because I highly, highly discourage anybody to buy makeup that's been tested on animals because it's absurd. You can't justify, nobody can justify testing animals just so they can look good. There's no justification behind it, and even if you aren't vegan, you really should be using products that are cruelty free because it's just entirely selfish. So let's get straight into it. I will try and give you some tips that I have as I go through the stuff. So this is my makeup area, well, like toiletries and makeup as it is now. So I'll just show you what I have. I got these two tins more recently from Tiger, just for storage purposes. In there is lip balms, and I've got far too many and I don't use them. And in here is hand cream because Alex has an obsession with buying hand cream, and also hand cream tends to be something that people buy you for like Christmas and stuff, and I don't use it an awful lot, so it just tends to sit there. In here I've got some makeup brushes. Here I have three palettes. I had so many makeup palettes that were like given to me again by my mum, like these Estee Lauder ones, and I just don't use them. Here is a nice grubby hairbrush. But here's where I've kept my makeup. It's this like old, I don't even know what it is, but or where I got it, but it used to be in my bedroom. I think my sister or my mum found it and they used it in my bedroom as like storage, and I've just kept it ever since. But in here is some nail varnishes and some eyeshadow palettes and some like eyeliners. And then in here is all of my lipsticks. And I just think that's just too many because I used to be a huge fan of lipsticks when I went out a lot. But now I'm not going out a lot. There's no real reason for me to have that many. So yes. And then here is like all of mine and Alex's just products we use daily. So like moisturizers, perfumes, sun lotion. We don't use that daily. That's just something that Alex got given by his mum when we went to Glastonbury. I don't know if this is vegan or cruelty free. So let us know in the comments if anybody knows if this is vegan or cruelty free, because I just don't know. And then here is my like makeup bag, because I tend to just keep all of my makeup that I use on a day-to-day basis in a bag, because if I ever travel I don't have to like put it in there. So that for me is convenient, but I do want to sort this out as well because that's a mess. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to try and take everything off of the table and then sort through it that way, because then you're sort of clearing it all out, and it's much easier to see what you have. I'm actually quite happy with myself that this is all I have, because I don't think that this is a lot for a girl. I used to have so much more. Obviously it's not all of my toiletries, I have a lot of toiletries in the bathroom, but that's the next thing I need to do. Excuse my drowned rat appearance, but similar to my previous videos, it's all about thinking about whether you have used it recently, like have you used it in the last 6 months to a year? Do you wear it regularly? Think about things you have in the house, because this is another thing I've noticed with minimalism. I guess it depends, each to their own, but me personally, with my budget at the minute, a lot of the time when I watch minimalism videos, it seems like you have to go out and buy lots of storage, and you have to have like this perfect white clean house that hasn't got anything and has all this expensive furniture and all this expensive storage, when that really isn't the case. That's more of the aesthetic of minimalism. But when you think about the actual values of minimalism, so living simply, it really doesn't matter how you store it. I mean, obviously if you have some spare money, it might be nice to go get some storage counters or some way to store your makeup and stuff, but if you don't, and you don't really want to spend the money on it, and if you want to be resourceful, like I want to be resourceful, I mean I could go out and buy some storage for my makeup, but I just would rather be resourceful with the stuff I have. So for example, this is an old, I don't even know what it is, but it was in my house, and I think it's quite a good thing to store my makeup in. So go look around your house and see if you've got any things that are just sitting there and you're not using, or go to a charity shop or vintage shop or something like that, and you might find little knickknacks that actually are secondhand and easier to use for storage, like these little wicker baskets. I've had these for so many years, everyone has these, and these are quite new. I got these from Tiger recently. And also jars, this is an old jar, maybe it was like a tahini jar I think, and I just cleaned it out and used it for the brushes. That's another great storage tip. Minimalism doesn't have to be about the way it looks. I mean, it can be if that's what you want it to be, because I know lots of minimalists want everything to be white and clean and sort of organised, and that's great, but I'm not fussy about that so much. So getting right into it. So here is the mess. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe everything. So another important thing when you're doing your drawers or you're clearing through your stuff is to clean everything, because makeup gets dirty especially, and yeah, it's just a good idea to clean everything as you go and clean like all the storage that you're using as well. So just use like a cloth and just a bit of antibacterial spray, or if you have like face wipes or something like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean all the makeup as I go. Here's the makeup some of the makeup I'm getting rid of. So yeah, it's feeling good already. It's so therapeutic, just chucking it away, being like, I'm not having you anymore. Right, so I'm sorry for the bad lighting. It's gotten a bit darker as I had some dinner. But here is the finished product. I'll just take you through what I've done. I think it looks a lot better. There's a lot more space. In here, I still think I could get rid of more, but I have my lipsticks. I've tried to limit it to like only having one type of colour. But yeah, there are my lipsticks and lip liners. I also sharpened everything and cleaned everything. Here's like there's a couple lip stains and a lip gloss, but I think I might get rid of that. What I've done mentally is I've sort of taken note of some of the ones I'm not sure about, and if I haven't used them in a month or two, then I'm going to get rid of them. I've got rid of a lot of my lip balms, and I found a few in my makeup bag, so my lip balms are now in here. I've got my perfumes in here now, and then in here it's very dark, but there's my eyeliners, my sort of eyeshadows that are loose. There's only 2 eyeshadows actually. There's 2 eyeshadows and a highlighter, and then a Body Shop bronzer that I don't use as much because it's a little bit dark for me, but I will use if I get more tan, and then a little mirror. So that's like a really small amount of makeup that I think is really doable. And in here I've kept this the same. This is hand creams, but I think that in the future what I'll use it for is any sort of beauty products or moisturizers or anything like that I want to keep on here, but I don't use every single day. Here I have all my brushes. I'm not going to get rid of any of my brushes because I use most of them for different purposes. So yeah, that's in there. And then in here I've changed this. I've made this like my sort of nail tin. So it's got my 4 nail varnishes and then like nail clippers, nail file and all of that stuff. And then I've got this here instead of the wicker baskets because it's just a lot easier to just grab them. I find it really annoying having to open the wicker baskets every time I want a hair tie or hair clips. And then here, it's much better than having the makeup bag, because I think the makeup bag just made my makeup dirty, so I should only really be using my makeup bag if I'm traveling. Here is my everyday makeup. So my tinted moisturiser, my concealer, bronzer, blushes, a sort of It's like a lip balm, lip gloss thing, another concealer, mascara and eyeliner, and those are the things that I regularly use. So they're just there, just easily on display. And then here are my everyday moisturiser, hair sort of spray stuff, not hairspray, but you know, hair detangler, dry shampoo and moisturiser. So yeah, that's it. It's not, you know, hashtag aesthetic goals or anything, because I think that sometimes a lot of videos I've watched on minimalism are all about sort of everything looking perfectly white and clean and all having the perfect storage. And sometimes with videos on YouTube, this is another topic altogether, should be another video, but sometimes videos on YouTube, it can be like unattainable and it makes you feel a bit shit about yourself because you're like, oh my god, my place is such a mess, I don't have all the money to spend on these expensive things and expensive storage and yada yada yada. But I think that anyone can try and be more minimalist. It doesn't have to be about the way things look. In fact, I don't really think it should be. It should be just about cleansing the stuff that you have to be more manageable and for it to be easier. So now I know that when I do my makeup every day, it's going to be so much easier for me to find the things that I use and there's not clutter everywhere. It's just nice to do that, and it doesn't have to be about going out and revamping your entire house in one go. It's more about just being more resourceful and economic and just not having as much stuff because you don't need it, basically. It's very therapeutic. When I was doing the makeup, I found it really hard to get rid of some of my makeup because I was like, oh, but I love that. But then as soon as I put it in the pile to give away, I felt so much better. So really, really push yourself to get rid of stuff, even if you think, oh, I love that. But if you haven't used it in like a year, why are you keeping it? Somebody else might enjoy it. Like my mum and my sister, or whoever I give this to, will enjoy it potentially more than I ever would because it's genuinely just sat there. Next up in the minimalism series will be the bathroom and also my cupboard. So it's like my cupboard's got some coats and shoes because I didn't do that when I did my wardrobe. Then also the kitchen and general decluttering of your home. And also I might include in the minimalism series like a project that I'm doing in the next room because it's just a dumping ground at the minute. So I'm sure everybody has that room or that space, even just like a corner in their house, which is kind of ends up being a bit of a dumping ground. And I want to do a video on how to like reorganize and sort of storage tips. So look forward to that and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Lots of good food. Yeah, we've got some oranges first. Like I said, I always like to get a lot of oranges to put in my smoothies. And then there's a whole heap of bananas in here. I always get bananas